Psora in first house and planets. The first house, Ascendant, represents the physical body, personality, and vitality of an individual. When the Psora Miasm is linked to the first house, the afflictions manifest in terms of mental restlessness, insecurity, and physical weakness. Psora represents the fundamental struggle between vital energy and chronic weaknesses, often rooted in emotional and psychological states. The planetary influences in the first house further determine how Psora manifests in terms of physical and emotional symptoms. Harsh Mercury in the first house, afflicted by Psora. Mercury governs communication, nervous system, and mental faculties. When Mercury is afflicted in the first house under Psora, the individual tends to experience mental restlessness, constant overthinking, a scattered mind, and inability to concentrate. Nervousness. The person may appear fidgety, anxious, and overly talkative. They may struggle with anxiety, particularly around speaking or social interaction, as Psora amplifies nervous tension. Speech issues. Speech may be rapid, erratic, or stuttering, reflecting an overactive mind. Weakness in the nervous system. The individual may suffer from stress-related headaches, poor sleep, or tension in the neck and shoulders due to constant mental activity. Physical symptoms may include skin irritation. Psora-related skin conditions like dryness or mild rashes may appear on the face or scalp. Digestive issues. Since Mercury governs the gut-brain axis, issues like indigestion or irritable bowel syndrome could surface, particularly related to stress and overthinking. Moon in the first house, afflicted by Psora. The moon represents emotions, mental stability, and sensitivity. When the moon is afflicted in the first house under Psora, the individual experiences emotional hypersensitivity. They become easily overwhelmed by emotions and external stimuli. There is a heightened vulnerability to emotional fluctuations and mood swings. Insecurity. A deep sense of insecurity and emotional instability dominates. The person may constantly seek validation or fear rejection, leading to overreaction to small events. Anxiety and fear. Unknown fears, often irrational, can manifest as emotional unrest. The individual may struggle with unexplained sadness, worry, and fear of failure. Physical symptoms include puffy face and watery eyes. These can reflect the emotional instability and hypersensitivity to external influences. Breathing issues. Due to the moon's influence over fluids, an individual may develop respiratory sensitivity or asthma-like symptoms, especially when emotionally stressed. Digestive sensitivity. Emotional stress can lead to bloating or indigestion. Saturn in the first house, afflicted by Psora. Saturn governs structure, bones, and chronic conditions. When Saturn is afflicted in the first house under Psora, the individual often experiences chronic insecurity, deep feelings of inadequacy, pessimism, and an overarching fear of failure. This leads to a lack of confidence and a tendency towards self-doubt. Emotional suppression. Saturn's heavy energy suppresses emotions, leading to internalized stress and tension. The individual may appear detached or emotionally distant. Slowness in action. Saturn slows down processes in the body and mind. The individual may feel lethargic, fatigued, or find it difficult to get things done. Fear and rigidity. Psora adds to Saturn's natural tendency to generate fear and rigid thinking, making the person overly cautious and resistant to change. Physical symptoms include chronic fatigue, a sense of heaviness and constant tiredness, particularly in the limbs and joints. The person may feel drained without much physical exertion. Dry, hard skin. Psora manifests through dry skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis, especially on the face or scalp. Joint pain. Chronic joint stiffness, especially in the knees or back, due to Saturn's influence on the bones and joints. A Rahu in the first house, afflicted by Psora. Rahu represents illusion, obsession, and excessive desire. When Rahu is afflicted in the first house under Psora, the person may exhibit restless behavior, an exaggerated need for constant stimulation or new experiences, leading to impulsive actions and instability in life decisions. Oversensitivity, emotional overreaction or amplified responses to small events, reflecting Psora's influence on emotional hypersensitivity. Self-obsession. Rahu drives a tendency towards self-obsession or fear of inadequacy. making the person feel overly concerned with their appearance or how others perceive them. Over-optimism. Psora amplifies Rahu's tendency to create illusions of grandeur, causing the person to make rash decisions based on unrealistic expectations, often leading to disappointment. Physical symptoms include skin issues. Psora can manifest through skin rashes, boils, or unusual sensitivity to allergens, particularly in the face and scalp. Digestive disorders. Rahu's tendency toward excess can lead to indigestion, bloating, or erratic appetite patterns, driven by emotional unrest or overindulgence. Erratic breathing. The person may experience hyperventilation or shortness of breath, particularly in moments of anxiety or emotional upheaval. Jupiter in the first house, afflicted by Psora. Jupiter governs expansion, wisdom, and optimism. When afflicted in the first house under Psora, the individual tends to experience excessive optimism. Psora amplifies Jupiter's influence, leading to unrealistic expectations or a tendency to overestimate one's abilities, often resulting in disappointment. Emotional swings. While Jupiter normally brings balance, Psora causes emotional highs and lows, with periods of intense enthusiasm followed by apathy or emotional exhaustion. Restlessness. The individual may feel a strong urge to achieve great things, but lacks the focus or persistence to follow through, leading to frustration and burnout. Physical symptoms include weight fluctuations. As Jupiter governs growth and expansion, the individual may struggle with weight gain or fluid retention, especially in the upper body. Digestive issues. Psora, combined with Jupiter's influence, may lead to bloating, indigestion, or a sluggish metabolism. Conclusion. Psora's influence on the first house affects both mental and physical health through the planets residing or influencing this house. The afflicted planets exacerbate the core traits of Psora: restlessness, insecurity, fatigue, and hypersensitivity, leading to chronic, underlying weaknesses in both body and mind. These manifestations can present themselves as skin conditions, joint pain, nervousness, or digestive issues, alongside emotional disturbances like anxiety, fear of failure, and emotional hypersensitivity. Psora in first house and planetary conjunctions. Moon plus Mercury conjunction in the first house under Psora. Overthinking and emotional instability. The person is prone to constantly overanalyzing their emotional experiences, leading to a restless mind. Psora amplifies this mental churn, making the individual feel emotionally overwhelmed. Insecurity in communication. Psora can manifest as insecurity in verbal expression. The person may struggle to communicate effectively, feel misunderstood, or exhibit nervous speech patterns like stammering or rushing through words. Physical manifestations. Tension headaches, neck stiffness, and fatigue from nervous system strain. Indigestion or nervous stomach due to mental and emotional tension. Moon plus Saturn conjunction in the first house under Psora. Emotional coldness and suppression. The person may appear emotionally distant, detached, or incapable of expressing emotions freely. Psora aggravates Saturn's restrictive influence, leading to internalized stress. Chronic insecurity and pessimism. Psora amplifies Saturn's tendency toward negativity, making the individual feel chronically insecure and fearful of failure. Physical manifestations. Chronic fatigue with lethargy, particularly in the limbs. Joint stiffness, especially in knees and spine, alongside dry, flaky skin. Moon plus Rahu conjunction in the first house under Psora. Emotional amplification and overreaction. The individual's emotions may be wildly exaggerated, causing them to overreact to minor situations. Psora amplifies this emotional turbulence, making it difficult for the person to regulate their feelings. Irrational fears and emotional paranoia. Psora, combined with Rahu, leads to irrational fears or a sense of emotional instability. Physical manifestations, shortness of breath or hyperventilation during stress episodes. Skin eruptions, boils or allergic reactions triggered by emotional distress. Mars-Mercury conjunction in the first house under Psora. Hyperactivity and impatience. Psora exacerbates Mars's aggressive tendencies and Mercury's mental activity, causing restlessness, impulsivity, and an inability to focus for long periods. Verbal aggression. There may be a tendency to speak harshly, as Mercury's communication ability is heightened by Mars's aggressive energy. Physical manifestations: headaches and migraines due to mental and physical hyperactivity. Muscle tension in the neck, shoulders and upper back caused by physical strain. Sun plus Saturn conjunction in the first house under Psora. Suppressed self-expression. Psora heightens Saturn's restricting influence on the Sun, causing the individual to feel self-conscious, shy or incapable of fully expressing themselves. Low vitality and energy. The person may experience a constant lack of energy or chronic fatigue, feeling as though they have little motivation to pursue goals or daily tasks. Physical manifestations: weak immune system, leading to frequent colds or infections. Dry skin and brittle hair due to suppressed vitality. Venus plus Rahu conjunction in the first house, under Psora. Overindulgence and impulsivity. Psora amplifies Rahu's tendency toward excess, causing the individual to indulge in pleasure-seeking activities excessively. Obsessive focus on appearance. There may be an unhealthy obsession with physical appearance, with Psora heightening Venus's concern for beauty and Rahu's illusionary influence creating dissatisfaction. Physical manifestations: weight gain or bloating due to overindulgence. Acne or skin problems, especially when linked to poor dietary habits or overindulgence.